One of the most influential men when it comes to the anime industry and manga as a whole has passed away, Mr. Akira Toriyama, and the world will literally never be the same again. I wanted to take this video and take a little moment in time to basically talk about all of the amazing things that this man has done, the great things, the example he gave us through his art and his mediums, and what he accomplished in life, which has literally left a lasting impression on all of our lives. I'm going to be reading from Mr. Akira Toriyama's Wikipedia page, where it talks a little bit about his early life. Akira Toriyama was born in the city of Kyushu, Aichi Prefecture, Japan. He had a younger sister. Toriyama drew pictures from a young age, mainly of the animals and vehicles that he was fond of. He related being blown away after seeing 101 Dalmatians, and said he was drawn deeper into the world of illustration by hoping to draw pictures that good. He was shocked again in elementary school when he saw the manga collection of a classmate's older brother, and again when he saw a television set for the first time at a neighbor's house. He cited Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy as the original source for his interest in manga. Toriyama recalled that when he was in elementary school, all of his classmates drew imitating anime and manga, which is so interesting to see because me, right along with so many other people, did the same exact thing. But him and his classmates drew imitating anime and manga as a result of not having many forms of entertainment. He believed that he began to advance above everyone else when he started drawing pictures of his friends. Despite being engrossed with manga in elementary school, Toriyama said that he took a break from it in middle school, probably because he became more interested in films and TV shows. When asked if he had any formative experiences with tokusatsu entertainment, Toriyama said he enjoyed the Ultraman TV show and Gamera series of kaiju films. So Toriyama said it was a no-brainer that he would attend a high school focused on creative design, but admitted he was more interested in having fun with his friends. Although he still did not read much manga, he would draw one himself every once in a while. Despite his parents' strong opposition, Toriyama was confident about going into the workforce upon graduating instead of continuing his education. He worked at an advertising agency in Nagoya, designing posters for 3 years. Although Toriyama said he adapted to the job quickly, he admitted that he was often late because he was not a morning person and often got reprimanded for dressing casually until he got sick of the environment and quit. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but when I think of Akira Toriyama, I think of a few things. I think of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I think of Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger. These are probably the most influential and the biggest things in my life and what he contributed to it. And obviously, like when I first saw Dragon Ball Z back in the 90s, like this feels like such a long time ago, but the first time I saw it, I was absolutely blown away. Like I could not believe what I was watching. Like the animation was so fluid and smooth, and the character drawings were so good. It was so different and unique from what I was used to, different like cartoons and stuff like that. They were drawn a little bit softer, like not as aggressive looking, and they were typically, they had that like G.I. Joe kind of He-Man look to them, so they weren't exactly the best drawings. But then Mr. Akira Toriyama, he just busted out Dragon Ball, and it just blew my mind, and it blew us away and completely exploded the anime industry. Like, we have him to thank for so many animes like Naruto, One Piece. I mean, so many animes take a lot of inspiration from Dragon Ball Z, and it's crazy to see how much and like how much he's contributed to society because of what he did. One of my favorite things about Dragon Ball Z is obviously, you know, training is a big aspect to it. But it also teaches you a lot of like, you know, moral codes and, you know, life lessons and stuff like that. Things like having honor, like training, you know, keeping your body in shape. All of these things are important, you know. Having that balance is really what matters. And, you know, there's also a lot of crazy stuff, you know, a lot of spiritual and all of those things. And I didn't really care too much about those things, but what I did understand is, you know, having honor, having a moral code, these things, a lot of life lessons we got from these animes, and it is just insane to see how deep all of this stuff was and how incredible these stories were. All of these lessons that we were able to teach, you know, like never giving up, like things like that, overcoming your next obstacle, you know, reaching the next point. All of these things, these are like literal foundational things when it comes to Dragon Ball. And, you know, we have this man to thank for those things.
And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
But, you know, it wasn't just the anime world that was shocked by this too. Like some of the best games that have ever been released have this man's artwork. Chrono Trigger is one of them, where this game is absolutely goated. Like it is one of the best JRPGs ever made. The story, the character design is flawless. The game is just unique in and of itself, and there has never been another game that is quite like it. And honestly, I still can't believe it hasn't been remade. It is just a huge shocker when it comes to that. But you know what he did with that game and what they were able to do, him combined with Square, it is just crazy. Nobody has ever done that before. And you know, not just Chrono Trigger, I'm also a huge fan of Dragon Quest. I haven't necessarily beat any of them, but I understand like they've always had a unique look, and nowadays I'm a big fan of them more so than ever because of the fact that they're one of the only JRPGs to this day that are still turn-based, which is just kind of hard to see. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just came out, and you know the Final Fantasy games are really good, but they're not really turn-based anymore. So it's almost like this style of game is almost becoming a lost art, which is sad. But I just went on a big tangent. But all this to say that, you know, Dragon Quest, like he did so much work when it comes to that. It is insane. Like from character creation, he drew the monsters, you know, all of this stuff. He was heavily influential when it comes to this. We obviously know the Dragon Ball Z games. I mean, we've been playing Dragon Ball Z games since the PS1 era. Like I still remember Dragon Ball Final Bout, which that game was horrible, but it was truly a unique time to be there and to be playing this game. Like, you know, you had to have a PlayStation 1 that was modded in order to play this Japanese exclusive game, or actually I think it came out in the US too. I'm not sure about that, but we played the Japanese version of it. Like, that is so crazy. That is so crazy to think. And you know, they've obviously made a ton of games. Some of my favorite games were the Legacy of Goku series, you know, the Game Boy Advance ones. The first one was a little bit rough, I'm not gonna lie, but number 2 and Boost Fury was amazing. Amazing. And then we have all of the Budokai games, you know, the fighting games, which, you know, they're awesome and excellent games in and of itself. And the culmination of all of that, which is Dragon Ball FighterZ with the Z at the end, that is the best fighting game as far as Dragon Ball Z goes. That is the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game ever made. Still to this day. Still. Yeah, so you know, all of the work that he did just spans across all of these different genres, and yeah, it's insane. I'm gonna end this video by basically talking about one of my favorite creations when it comes to what Akira Toriyama did, which is Broly, the character Broly. I mean, this is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite, my actual favorite Dragon Ball Z character, just because of the fact that he is just so freaking cool. Like his whole storyline, the story that they gave him, you know, both of the storylines, the Z storyline and the Super storyline. Such a good character, such a good story. You know, it is a little bit more of a sad one because he's just kind of thrown away like trash, and his father Paragus tries to save him, which is kind of ironic because he ends up killing him, sort of, in the Z version, not in the Super version. But you know, you have this character that, you know, he is kind of shy, but he just has explosive amounts of power, and he is like the legendary Super Saiyan. Like, he's different from everybody else because he has a green aura and green hair when he powers up to Super Saiyan. Such a cool character. Like, I love both of them. I love the Super and the Z version of him. I do like the Super version more because they keep him alive, obviously, and then he didn't turn into a slime monster. But yeah, right guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's kind of a departure to what types of videos I typically come out with, but I really wanted to talk about this because Mr. Akira Toriyama did so much, and he truly changed our lives. Like, he really did, in all of the things that he did. So Mr. Toriyama, rest in peace. Hopefully we'll see you one day. Alright you guys, till the next video, peace.
And now we end the story of the Dragon Balls, with the hope that the Earth will never again see the kind of darkness that brought it close to extinction so many times. But if that day comes, there is one who will step out of the shadows and fight in the name of all that is good and true.